Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. I welcome you all to this video. This video is an announcement video for a wonderful new initiative that we have come up with for you as far as the phase 2 exam of RBI Grade B is concerned. You know that the FM paper is really crucial as far as getting that golden marks is concerned, okay, going above the cutoff is concerned, right? So keeping that in mind, we have come up with this wonderful series for you, PYQ2 concept series for the RBI Grade B 2026 phase 2 exam. But before moving ahead, let me just tell you that EduTap has come up with a wonderful guidebook that will help you in your preparation. It consists of the previous year questions right from 2019 along with the various explanations. There's also the syllabus, the most important topics that you should focus on as far as your preparation is concerned. Apart from that, from where should you prepare, all the sources with respect to all the subjects that you have to prepare, and a wonderful 6-step strategy that you can make part of your preparation, with which you can prepare in a very good manner. Okay, so you can download this wonderful guidebook by clicking the link given in the description of this video, right? So in this video we are discussing and we are announcing rather a particular series that we are coming up with, that is the PYQ2 concept series, right? So in this series, as the name itself suggests, this series is with respect to the FM paper. As you know, in the phase 2 you have 3 papers that you have to answer: the descriptive English, then we have ESI and the FM paper. So in the FM paper, finance as well as management, these two form the parts of the FM paper, right? And preparing the FM paper is the most crucial as far as clearing the cutoff of phase 2 and the final cutoff is concerned. So keeping that in mind, we have come up with this series, and we have with us here Deepika ma'am also, right? So I will be taking up the charge of explaining the topics with respect to the finance, which have come, as the name of the series says, PYQ2 concept series, right? So here we will be discussing the concepts, the topics which are most important, which have been already asked in the previous years, right? We will be showing you the, actually this is sort of a, we can say an MCQ series, wherein you will be shown all of the previous year questions. These are the recollected questions that we have recollected as far as the exam is concerned. Right from 2016 till date, all of the questions in the FM paper, mostly objective questions, we'll be discussing. So those are the part of this series, wherein we will discuss one question and then that question will be explained. As far as finance is concerned, you know it is really technical and preparing it beforehand is really required. And also now you must be juggling with various subjects of phase 1 and you must be thinking what to do with phase 2, right? The phase 1 exam has come really early this time, and what to do with the part of phase 2. So we would suggest, I think ma'am would also agree, that we should definitely prepare the FM paper topics really in advance, and that too the most important topics. How do you know which topics are most important? PYQ are the guide. Okay, so we will be explaining how we will be moving ahead as far as this series is concerned. Ma'am, management is also part of this particular series. So will you tell them how are we going to cover the most important topics?
So in terms of the most important topics of management, we have gone through the PYQs, right? And the important topics are picked out from there itself. Concept chapters are the important, from wherein we get the most questions. We'll be discussing the questions as well as the concepts after that. And in terms of the questions, you will also be able to understand कि why we say management is easy, because some of the questions are straightforward itself. तो आप देख के ही बता सकते हो. So that is what we'll be doing in this series. First the PYQs and then moving forward with the concepts to how to answer that question.
Okay, so let me just take them through how we will be moving ahead, what is the importance of this series. If we just talk about the importance of this series, first of all, at this moment you should have a balanced approach as far as the preparation for the exam is concerned. What do I mean by balanced approach? Of course, you should give major time for the preparation of the phase 1, but as you know, after phase 1 the time that you have till phase 2 is limited. Of course, this time we have sufficient amount of time, but still it is limited in the sense that preparing technical topics of finance, and also sometimes we ignore the topics of management, isn't it? It's so easy, we'll prepare later on. We shouldn't be doing that with the FM paper. That's not the justice that we do, isn't it? So keeping that in mind, you should also be preparing a little with respect to the phase 2 exam, and out of all the three papers, I hope most of you agree, the FM paper is the most critical as far as clearing the cutoff is concerned, right? So before the exam, you should be concentrating on the critical parts, so that once the phase 1 exam is over, you are actually able to cope up with the syllabus and properly practice the things. After phase 1, you will also be required to give some you will be required to practice the descriptive type questions also properly. For that, you should be knowing the concepts beforehand, right? So this is the thing, you should have a balanced approach. But is it really easy to go for a balancing these things, right? Right now I know you must be struggling with your GA, you must be struggling with your quant reasoning, right? All of the things with respect to phase 1 already, and in that I'm asking you to prepare the FM paper also, right? So that might be difficult for you. So to make things easier, we have come up with this series wherein at least we'll be discussing all of the most important topics which have been asked in the exam previously, right? So previous year question based concepts we will be discussing. We'll see the question, we'll try to answer it, and then we will see the concept behind that particular question and a little more, because these are the most important topics which have a very high chance of being asked in the upcoming exam, isn't it? You too know that. So keeping that in mind, you can say that the basics of the FM paper will be built as far as going through this particular series of videos is concerned, right? So I would say please invest your time. These videos are totally free over YouTube. You can just watch them and cover the basic concepts of finance and management for your FM paper. Okay, so as I already told you, you have to answer, go through these three papers and go through the syllabus of them and practice things with respect to these three papers in the phase 2. ESI, and then there is English, descriptive English and finance and management, right? So here you can see FM paper, actually you will be required to score good. As far as FM paper is concerned, 100 marks is something that has been allotted to this. And if you see the trend, the finance part, we have like 50 to 55 marks questions coming, in the management part is the rest. So you should be preparing these beforehand, so that at least you are really confident with respect to phase 2. Of course, not compromising with your preparation with respect to phase 1. So keeping both the things in mind, this series has been designed for you. Okay, so what is the importance of PYQ? That is also something that you should be knowing. Previous year questions actually help us in understanding that there are various topics that get repeated. Okay, these are the some of the favorite topics that RBI asks, right? So like in finance, we have types of bonds. Many a times questions have come from there. Okay, again and again in the successive examinations. Also in management, we have topics of motivation, Maslow. Okay, though these topics are again and again asked, right? So keeping those things in mind, PYQs actually, of course, with the syllabus, you will be able to understand what is the thing that I have to prepare. Out of those, preparing the entire syllabus might not be possible for you. So PYQs actually are the guiding light with respect to the most important topics which get repeated again and again, right? So that is the first importance. Coming to the second thing, it helps in identifying the most important topics. Of course, you have picked up the most important topics, you have prepared them, you are confident that these topics, some of these topics would definitely come in the exam, because obviously trend keeps repeating, at least with the topics. Of course, the level of the question might vary, but the topics are something that will get repeated for sure, right? Some of the topics at least, right? So you should be really well prepared with those topics, right? That is what we are doing over here. Also, it helps in identifying which type of question can be asked from which kind of a topic, isn't it? So PYQs give you an idea, like there is some topic which you are studying in so much depth, let's say, right? We have a chapter in finance, let's say derivatives, wherein there are certain topics from which questions are not that much asked, like swaps. Might not be so many questions are coming in the exam, but let's say you are studying too deeply that particular topic, that might not be required. So with this series, you will also be able to understand that which type of questions are being asked from which topic. We'll be guiding you with that also, as far as the finance as well as management topics are concerned. So in that case, things, if these things are basically covered, taken care of, you will be really confident with the FM paper at least before the exam. And after the exam, you can prepare. Most of you have a prior knowledge of economics, so ESI becomes easier for you, and descriptive English is something that is more of a practice thing, right? So you can do it after phase 1. So that is what we have thought about, and we have come up with this particular series. Let me just explain to you how are we going about. It is not that you will have to watch a whole lot of videos. We are just doing it in 5 videos. Yes, you have heard it right. We will be doing it in 5 videos. All the most important topics. There will be around 100 previous year questions that we'll be discussing. With the previous year question, rest assured that we will be discussing the concept in such a manner that you are able to answer if a similar question comes, and if at all anything is asked from that particular topic, any topic related to it, that also you will be able to answer, right? So whatever might be the level of question, if your basics are strong, you are going to answer them really well. Okay, so we'll be doing it in this manner. Okay, so the dates are also given. The timing is at 2 p.m. You'll be getting the video uploaded over our YouTube channel. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5. A number of course, we'll have to discuss a number of chapters in a particular video. So that we are doing here. You can see in the first part of the video, as far as finance is concerned, time value of money, bonds, derivatives, equity markets is something that we will be discussing these chapters. In the same way, I have given you with respect to the second part, debt market, forex, alternative sources of finance, banking system, RBI and its functions. Okay, so all the previous year questions and the most important topics related to that we'll be discussing here. Financial institutions, financial inclusion, development in digital payment system, also role of IT in banking and financial system is something that we'll be discussing in the third part. Fourth, we have corporate governance in banks. Then we have global financial market, financial risk management, and in the fifth part we'll be discussing ratio analysis and other fringe topics, right? So this is how we'll be going about as far as the finance videos are concerned. So as I said, we'll be covering things in 5 videos, and that is what we are planning as far as this series is concerned. Now I would like to invite Deepika ma'am so as to explain with respect to the management related videos. Okay, Deepika ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir. So in terms of the management schedule, if we talk about, the videos for finance and management will go alternatively. It will start with finance on 11th. The first video for management will go on 12th of May. The time remains the same at 2 o'clock. So in terms of management, we don't have that many chapters. Finance mein jitne chapters hai, management mein utne comprehensive chapters nahi hai, right? So in terms of management, on the first day, we'll be covering 2 chapters, which is motivation and communication, because we have seen a lot of questions come from motivation, so uska weightage thoda zyada hota hai, right? Followed by the part 2 video, wherein we'll be covering leadership, because it's a very comprehensive chapter. There are various types of theories which we'll go in depth, and साथ में the questions which have come from, because we have many repeated topics in terms of leadership chapter. Followed by the part 3 video, which is on general management. Now, general management is one of the biggest chapters in management. It's quite vast. There are various types of topics and various types of things we'll understand in terms of general management. So that is why it will take a bit of your time. इसलिए the part 3 video and part 4 video have certain parts of general management. Part 4 में we'll also cover organizational behavior, personality perception and emotional intelligence. Why suddenly इतने सारे chapters add हो गए? Because these chapters, OB, personality perception and emotional intelligence, यहाँ से there have been very rare questions asked, like hardly 4-5 times at most, right? So that is why these chapters won't take much of your time. And on the final day, which is the part 5th of the video, we'll cover organizational conflict, change, corporate governance and ethics. Again, these topics, some parts of it have weighted, such as corporate governance and ethics. But if we talk about change and conflict, that is not that, a topic जहाँ से बहुत सारे questions आते हुए देखे. Like there are some specific models wherein the questions generally come from. So which is why we'll be covering these 4 chapters on the part 4 video. And 21st May ko, we'll be wrapping up with this series, completing with our management part of the PYQ to concept series. So now I would like to give it over to Surendra sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So as ma'am said, we'll be wrapping it up by 21st of May. You do not have to worry about whether it is going till your phase 1 or are we also preparing these things. So you will be getting sufficient time after this so as to focus totally on phase 1. Okay, so I would say this particular series is something that I would vouch for you at this particular time, because obviously, as I already told you, that balancing the preparation of phase 1 and a part of phase 2 is something that should be that is something that you should learn, and you will be able to do that with this particular series. Okay, obviously here the most important topics are being discussed, because we have kept this series totally PYQ based, right? So that would definitely help you out as far as the exam is concerned. Many topics are expected to be repeated also. Okay, so as we have already shown you the schedule, the videos will be starting to come onto our YouTube channel from 11th of May, Monday, and the timing is 2 p.m. Please note it down. 11th May को पहला finance का video आएगा, and then on 12th alternatively, as ma'am said, we'll have the management video coming in. Okay, then 13th again the next finance video, and 14th you will be having the video of management. Then coming to 15th, the next third part of the finance, and we'll be having on 16th management. Like that, alternatively we'll be finishing off with this series on 21st of May. And the videos also, we have tried to keep it around 40 to 50 minutes only, so that you are not investing a whole lot of time on this. This is like taking out the juice of a whole lot of thing and giving it to you in a very solidified manner. It is like all of the crux of FM paper is something that is being discussed over here. So I would say please do not miss out on the videos of this series. And also do let us know, did you really like this thought in the comment section, and in the videos also you can tell us of the explanation, and if you are giving any other suggestions, you can let us know as the videos keep coming in. So wishing you all the very best, right? I would say please make good use of these videos. Here we are coming up with all of the most important topics. Again, as I said, they have a high chance of being asked in the exam. Obviously, our focus will be objective type questions, but there are chances that some descriptive type questions might also be asked, and you have a basic knowledge of them already. And on this, I'm not saying that this series is totally enough for you as far as the FM paper of phase 2 exam is concerned, but yes, you can build on the foundation that has been laid down in this particular series after phase 1 exam properly. Okay, that is what we can definitely promise you. Okay, I would also like to invite ma'am so that we can just let them know that actually this series will help them in preparing both of the finance as well as management subjects for the FM paper. So with finance, as you know, the technicality is too high, so you should actually be properly prepared with it right before the exam, so that you can build on the topics that you have learned and go till the exam level, right? As far as management, what would you like to say?
In terms of management, since it's a more of a theoretical subject, so we'll be focusing on the theories, the concepts जो generally test होते हैं, and you will see then we answer the PYQs. That is, a lot of times the PYQs are very straightforward. They come exactly from the theory. So if we can clear up the theory for you, so it becomes very easy for you to answer the PYQs as well, right? So that is what we'll be trying to do in terms of management specifically.
Not ignoring the entire subject, but what we are doing is preparing the most important topics. So having said that, I would like to wish all of you all the best for your exam from the side of our entire team, and please be part of this series. Note on the time, 2 p.m. Okay, note करके रख लेना, and please watch these videos and let us know, are they really helping you. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. All the best.